Welcome back. Coming up into this part of the program, we begin with a story in the US. On Monday, billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk unveiled plans for a futuristic transportation system, and it is called Hyperloop. It can carry passengers between San Francisco and Los Angeles in around half an hour.
Blueprints for the future of travel. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk unveiled plans Monday for a futuristic Hyperloop transport system. The hope is to whisk passengers between San Francisco and Los Angeles in less than half an hour. The Hyperloop has been described as a cross between a Concorde, railgun, and air hockey table. It will be solar-powered and move passengers and even automobiles at speeds of up to 800 miles per hour. The system's aluminum capsules would run above ground and along low-pressure steel tubes. Musk is now asking the public for help in improving the design.
Dozens of guests at a Florida resort near Walt Disney World were evacuated early Monday. That was because at least 2 buildings partially collapsed after a sinkhole opened on the property's grounds.
A sinkhole forced the collapse of a portion of a Florida resort villa just minutes from Disney World. Fire officials say another section of the villa is slowly sinking. About 30% of the 3-story structure in the Summer Bay Resort collapsed at about 3 a.m. Monday. Dozens of families had already been evacuated and no injuries were reported. Summer Bay Resort President Paul Caldwell said residents started hearing cracking sounds coming from the building and windows began to break at about 10:30 Sunday night.
One of our guests reported a window crack out. Our security came right to the scene, assessed the situation, and evacuated all of our residents from 48 of our units.
We walked through that archway to go into the kids' water park just earlier today, around 6 o'clock. And now those 2 buildings have concaved into one another. The archway is gone. Our floor is 50 feet underground.
Local media reports the sinkhole to be about 50 feet or 15 meters wide and at least 15 feet or 4.5 meters deep. Resort officials say that 48 of the units are probably a total loss.
A man caught his girlfriend after she fell from an enclosed balcony window ledge on the 5th floor in northeast China yesterday. The incident took place after they had an argument.
A woman dangles precariously after falling from a 5th-story balcony in northeast China. On Monday, Chinese state broadcaster CCTV reported that the woman and her boyfriend had been arguing with him on a balcony a floor below after he was locked out of the upstairs apartment. When she fell, the man was able to grab her and hold on to her, allowing time for firefighters to arrive.
We went on the side through the awning on the ground floor and climbed from the ground floor to the 3rd floor via the grills outside the windows. I stood on the window ledge of the 3rd floor and with one hand holding onto the window, the other to push her up.
The woman was eventually pulled to safety.
Norway's Prime Minister found a new way to find out about the nation's opinion of politics. He took a break from work and drove a taxi to test the mood of his people before the elections.
Cruising through the streets of the Norwegian capital Oslo, Norway's Prime Minister takes a break from his regular day job. Donning a taxi driver's uniform, Jens Stoltenberg worked secretly as a taxi driver for a day in June, in a bid to test the mood of the nation before elections. Bemused passengers weren't told his identity until they guessed for themselves. And the moment they realized the Prime Minister of Norway was driving their taxi.
Shall I be quite honest? I'm not really happy about the driving.
The stunt, dreamed up by an ad agency as part of Stoltenberg's campaign for re-election, was filmed on hidden cameras. Stoltenberg said he wanted to hear people's honest views on politics. Parliamentary elections are due to take place on September 9th.
Europe's top surfers gathered in Germany on Sunday. The competition hosted the third European Championships in stationary wave riding to ride on what organizers say is the world's largest artificial wave.
Twisting, flipping, perched atop clear, cresting water, some of Europe's most talented surfers competed in the third European Championships in stationary wave riding in Munich. The arena for this event? A pool measuring 32 feet or nearly 10 meters wide, which cranks out waves nearly 5 feet or 1.5 meters high. The world's largest artificial waves, according to organizers. And this year, for the first time, a so-called kicker or jump has been included, allowing surfers to show off special rides and tricks, earning big fans like 16-year-old Dominik Wienicke.
You can do what you like on the wave. You can try out new tricks, or you can surf whenever you want.
The gyrating competitors are divided into groups including men, women, and for the first time, grommets, or surfers under 16 years of age. Those who can show the greatest diversity, control, style, and creativity will glide away with some of the prize money totaling 10,000 euros or 13,000 US dollars.
A group of artists gathered at Rockaway Beach in New York City's Queenstown on Friday to create their version of the perfect sandcastle. Within 3 hours, they had to finish their sandcastle. Let's take a look.
These are contemporary artists handpicked to elevate the simple sandcastle into a work of art. The competition is held for the second time at New York's Rockaway Beach, and last year's winners Jen Catron and Paul Outlaw are among this year's judges.
The biggest part of this competition is the wow people.
Yeah.
They come here for a sandcastle competition and they go home with something else entirely. Respect.
A whale-mobile and a life-size raft are among the creations seeking this respect. Some artists, such as Sebastian Errázuriz, had a more subtle approach outlining an airplane in the sand.
Like any New Yorker, I know that planes have a different connotation for us. They have this little weight that we can't avoid but following their trajectory, just in case. And so in a way, why not talk about those?
Rockaway Beach itself is a reminder of another disaster that hit New York. It was devastated by Hurricane Sandy, its aftermath still visible almost a year after the storm. And while drawing visitors to the recovering community, some artists showed that they too are at the whim of Mother Nature.
And finally, we'll finish with a story in the UK. 30 teams lined up for the highlight of the lawn mower racing. The race lasts 12 hours in over 400 laps. Motorsport doesn't get much stranger than lawn mower racing, but to its hardcore devotees, it's much more than just a hobby.
You might call it the Grand Prix of gardening. In the English village of Five Oaks in West Sussex, 30 teams with 3 drivers each plowed through a 12-hour race on lawnmowers. The race runs from dusk to dawn. And while grueling, former racer Clive Atten says its roots lie in having fun.
It just has a weird appeal. It's a fantastic thing to do and completely meaningless.
Harry Potter actor Warwick Davis served as official starter of the Offbeat Challenge.
We're known for keeping our lawns in this country and, cricket greens and that sort of thing. And we're known for doing things that are a little bit eccentric. And that just brings the two things together, doesn't it, lawnmower racing?
After 400 laps, totaling 560 kilometers, or nearly 350 miles of bumps, dust, and refueling, nearly all of the teams finished, exhausted. But as in most races, there can be only one winner. Finishing first this year were Northerners Kick Grass.
That's all for today's program. Thank you for watching from Itana and the rest of This is Cambodia team. Good night.